Hello, welcome to Hatty Waiver Wire Guru. Getting ready to go into week 10. Alright, so another week of buys, so we definitely need to find those spot starters. Obviously, I got my power pink on today. You know, real men can wear pink, especially men with beards. You can get away with pink, so there you go. Alright, so here we go. We're going to hop right into QBs, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Going to tell you who to grab, who to watch, and who to use as a spot starter. Let's start off with quarterbacks. First quarterback, I want to make sure he's not on your waiver wire. I know he's on a lot of waiver wires because of the name. He's not exactly name brand. But Josh Freeman in Tampa Bay is consistently putting up good numbers, especially in spot starter type situations, or if your QB is underperforming. Josh Freeman out of Tampa Bay is a grab. Wanted to mention him because I see him on waiver wires. Nobody to watch. Spot starter, Sean Hill. Stafford went down again, kind of rolled over that bad shoulder. Drew Stanton may be the one that plays next week, but Sean Hill will get healthy and play after that. So he's kind of your spot starter, but definitely a buyer beware for next week because I'm not sure if Sean Hill is going to actually play next week. Let's move on to running backs. The grab, and I know this team is on bye next week, but you got Mike Tolbert from San Diego. He is definitely the handcuff to own. Ryan Matthews is proving every week that he is just a ticking time bomb. You know, he just gets injured, comes out of the game. So you got to have Mike Tolbert, especially if you have the extra bench space. You know, just keep an eye on Matthews' status. I would think in 2 weeks Matthews starts, so Tolbert might not be a start in 2 weeks, but you know, it's just a matter of time, especially going into playoffs. You need to have that extra running back. Looking at who am I watching, just keeping an eye on him. I'm not even sure he's going to be productive at all, but Jerome Harrison from the Eagles just has that size, potentially that goal line back type guy. Not somebody I'm recommending you grab at all. Just watch, okay? It's really early in that process. Your spot starter, I mentioned him before, is Danny Woodhead. In a PPR league, Danny Woodhead is definitely a great spot starter. TD only league, not so much, but PPR league, Danny Woodhead for sure. Moving on to wide receivers, it's time to make sure you have Sidney Rice from Minnesota. Definitely need to go out and grab him. He is healthy again. Going to be a great playoff run wide receiver. Sidney Rice, if he's on your waiver wire, I'm telling you, just go and grab him now because he's not going to be there. Sidney Rice, for the love of if you watch this every week, grab him. My goodness. Next, Jacoby Ford. He's a wide receiver in Oakland. He's got a bye week next week, and I think the week after he's got to remain a starter. I mean, the kid just looked good. So he's going to be someone I would recommend you grab, you stash. Let's make sure he's good, okay? Meaning that when they come after the bye week, don't just start him. Grab him and stash him, and let's make sure that he's going to be a producer, okay? So he comes with like a buyer beware. Next are your watch list. I've talked about him before. Aurelius Ben on Tampa Bay, got in the action, got a touchdown. Somebody, like I have a D league on one of my leagues. A D league is someone you can take as like a rookie or a sophomore. If nobody started them, you can kind of put them in this taxi squad development league position. Aurelius Ben, wide receiver, Tampa Bay is someone I've got in there right now. But keep an eye on him. Not saying you run out and grab him. Next is Saya Arotutu. I probably killed that name. That's a San Diego wide receiver that I'm watching. If Gates stays out, and that's the big thing. I mean, Gates will probably come back, so that's why he's a watch. And Floyd and Vincent Jackson. There's just so many things with this guy that make him like, dang, you know, if those guys went around, he'd be a grab. But because all those other things, but if we've got a situation where Floyd, Jackson, and Gates are out, Arotutu, all right, he is the guy you would start. So there you go. And my spot starters, we'll start with Blair White. Austin Collie took a nasty hit, big concussion there. So Blair White would be someone, if Austin Collie is out next week, which he should be, and you're really desperate, Blair White. But that has to be a situation. Austin Collie's out and you're super desperate, Blair White. He's not someone that I'm like running out and grabbing. And then James Jones from Green Bay, talked about him and Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson was actually the starter. Would be the person, if you're in a PPR league, Jordy Nelson is at You know, he's got that consistency. He's not going to blow up, but he has the potential to get in the end zone. Okay, so you're going to always get like 8 to 10 points from Jordy. James Jones, on the other hand, has got that upside. And we talked about last week, that talent, that upside, to where you saw it this last week. You know, he threw up over 100 yards and a touchdown. And with Donald Driver, I just don't see Driver coming back. And if he does, not being very effective with his knees. So James Jones, I picked him up in one of my leagues. Recommend you do the same. You know, that he's got that upside. And spot starters, if Gates remains out, this is a spot starter for tight end. If Antonio Gates remains out, Randy McMichael is the guy that you want to, you know, spot start for him. Okay, unless you got Jacob Tamme who's out there, who I recommended a couple weeks ago. You know, he's a beast. But Randy McMichael. And then finally, keep an eye on Jeremy Shockey's status. Had to go to the hospital from a rib injury, but came back, so it might not be all that serious. But in his place, Jimmy Graham. He's a rookie, spot starter in New Orleans. You can keep an eye on him. I have him in the spot starter status. If Jeremy Shockey is out again, then you got Jimmy Graham if you're really in need of a tight end. Okay, that's it for this week. Check out hattywaiverwireguru.com. That's my website. If you need to ask a question, email me. I will email you back. It's hattywaiverwireguru@hattywaiverwireguru.com. Please go back and watch previous videos, especially if this is like one of your first time seeing my videos. Go back to previous videos. I have pick after pick. I mean, if you can just go back to those weeks, you're going to find a lot of options there for you. So check out previous week videos if you need more ideas. Every Sunday, I'm competing for 20 minutes on fantasylive.com. I do 2 20-minute rounds. It's a lot of fun. You just get in and play. You'll see it. I post it every week. It's Compete with Hatty. Go register for the site. It's free. You can register right through hattywaiverwireguru.com and compete against me on Sunday. Lots of fun. And finally, if your league needs trophies, order a trophy through the site. These things are awesome. Made in America, high quality. I love them. These are my 2 trophies for my past wins in the last 2 years, and they look really good on my bookshelf. So other than that, good luck in week 10. Stay tuned to the website for rankings, and then of course, please check out the Facebook. All right, join, become a fan of Facebook. You can ask me questions right there. I have lots of other readers that are asking questions. You can respond. Just a lot of fun to get into the Facebook page. So please become a fan, and that's totally free. So I don't know why you wouldn't do it. I also give extra picks during the week. So definitely hop on there. That's it. Good luck.